Hey, so what's going on, guys? My name is Pone, bringing you guys your daily dose of pornography with some Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Future Soldier. Oh, I did it right that time! Oh my god, that was my first try too. I haven't redone anything. Can I get a cookie for that? Oh, anyways, we're going into story time with Pone. Something crazy fun happened yesterday, and I don't know with the recent activity with me with this whole zombie thing, but this is another zombie commentary. You know, I did the zombie apocalypse, the 5 things you would pack for zombies. Those videos are done, and I'm not one to often talk about zombies because, well, it's not going to happen. But it was different because last night, you know, we were talking about it. Me and my wife were talking about it because we were having dinner, and she asked me, understand who I am. I mean, I deal with, you know, public fans and everything. So if there's going to be a story where a guy eats a guy's face off, I'm hearing about it before most people do. Before Yahoo News has that shit, I got it. And it's because everybody hits me up with all these details, and then everybody overreacts like, oh my god, the zombie apocalypse happened. Oh my god. And so my wife asked me about it or whatever. She's like, would you protect me and our kids if we went? And I laughed, which is probably not the right thing to do. And I'm like, honey, you have to understand right now. And I put my serious face on. I got that Denzel look ready, and I'm like, honey, you probably have the best husband in the world for the zombie apocalypse survival. And she's like, why is that? Because I'd kill the kids. And she looks at me. She's driving too. Maybe I shouldn't have fucked with her when she was driving. But she was driving, and then she looked at me like, you would kill our kids. And I'm like, if the zombie apocalypse happened, yeah. That's just extra baggage, honey. She's like, so if we had our own little baby, I'm like, especially if it's a baby, because those things cry and give away my position. Can't do that. And she's like, I can't believe you said that. And she's like, I'm going to tell my kids, our kids, when they're born, that you would sacrifice them during the zombie apocalypse. And then I was like, you know what? They will thank you for that, because they will understand entirely, because they will be trained in the arts of zombie survivalism. From me, Pone Star. So we got into a talk, and she really didn't like my answers. And I'm sitting there explaining to her, because she didn't like them. She would have been like, no, we have to save the children. I wouldn't want to live without my kids. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take the infants, and I'm going to make bait trails. I'm going to use the hell out of them, because to me, you got to think about this. You know, how much you love your kids or your grandma or your mom. Old people and young kids will just not happen during the zombie apocalypse. If they can't carry their own weight, if they can't think logically and rationally without having emotion in the way, you got to get rid of that shit. You got to toss that out the door. I'm no longer, you know, family matters, and I will support my wife and take care of my wife because she can support her own and carry her own weight. But if it's like, you know, a young kid, you can't do that. That's extra pressure. I am not going back for that motherfucker when he trips. I'm not going to do it. I am definitely not going to do it. And a lot of people are like, damn, Bone, that's cold. And I'm like, sorry. Yo, he's finger foods now. I can't do anything about it, because if you think about it, you know, it's about survival at that point. It's cutthroat. Now, if it's like another adult I don't know, I would think about saving them, judging on the situation. But kids, this extra baggage, you can't do it. I mean, and old people are the first ones to fucking go, dude. I do. I hope every one of them motherfucking old people that runs around with their little walkers and has the little tennis balls on the bottoms, I hope they're the first to fucking go. I hate that shit. So, apparently some of my hatred's coming out right now, and I'm hoping the zombie apocalypse does happen. But in reality, the thing that I noticed, and I started thinking about this on a higher level because she was like, oh, and honestly, if we had kids, that would be a very, very hard decision to make. I mean, I'm not, and she's like, well, what are you going to do? I'm like, I'll shoot him in the head. And I'm like, it's about survival. I would probably try to take my kid. There is no way, and that'd be like the hardest decision you'd have to make in your life. There is absolutely no way to survive the zombie apocalypse with a baby, an infant, one that cries. First off, you're not going to be able to provide for it and give it the food and shit it needs. Second off, it's a baby. It's going to get all of you killed. And at that point, you know, you would have to make the hard call. I think that would be the rational idea. Tell me if I'm wrong at this, because I got in a lot of trouble for saying, hey, you know, that that baby's an appetizer. That pissed her off for some odd reason. So you tell me what that is. I mean, that'd be the hardest decision to make in your life, but if it meant saving your wife and your life, you may just have to order up, if you know what I'm saying. And I know it sounds hard to admit or want to do, and I know, like, oh, Paul, you're just saying that. You wouldn't really be able to do it. I wouldn't want to, but I probably would have to. If it meant saving mine and my wife's life, you know, in that situation, I would do so. Because a baby is just too much. I mean, that's extra carrying weight, and then young little kids. You got a 5-year-old that's gonna be tripping all over shit, talking about random things. Hey, I want a Game Boy, Daddy. I'm gonna stiff arm the hell out of it. It doesn't work like that. Kids are gonna hold you back. They're gonna be one, and that's an emotional thing they put on you too. Like if something was about to happen, and you're gonna have fuck, I got knifed, and you're gonna sit there and you're gonna be worrying about what's going on if this kid's gonna be taken care of. And oh my God, Spawn. And you got to think that this kid is going to have, a lot of pressure on it. And I guess if it's a 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old, he may be able to carry his own weight. But anything younger than that would probably be more problem than anything. It'd be hard to get him, certain fences this kid may not be able to climb, and so on and so forth. I mean, with everything involved, kids probably wouldn't work. Old people can't work. You got to have somebody that's in decent enough shape that can run, get out of places. Somebody that's got a good head on their shoulders, so no crackheads. It would be a crazy adventure, and I got in a lot of trouble for this. Right, I was talking to her, and she was actually pissed off at the answer, which at first she thought I was joking, and I'm like, no, honey, I'm like, we would have to. And then I explained to her exactly what I've just told you guys, and she was like, oh my God, you're serious? You would really do that? And I'm like, I would have to, honey. I don't. At that point, I don't think it would be part of that. And then she was like, well, what makes you think you're going to be any good at the zombie survivalist? It's because I'm like, I'm willing to do that. And she's like, well, that's just stupid. And I'm like, well, you're just unqualified, bitch. And and I think that's part of it. I mean, if you think about that, would that have been a good call? I mean, most people that don't know about, zombies or played games and movies, which is obviously not reading material. That's not qualifications for zombie apocalypse. But, I've seen a few things. I've seen a few possible things. And that's what we have the mainstream idea behind zombie outbreak is that's how they act. We know what happens. You got to take off the head. You got them. They sometimes are in certain games and movies they can run, but they're generally pretty stupid. They react to noises, and for some odd reason they can tell when somebody's somewhere. So at that situation, at that juncture, a lot of people, and that's why a lot of people would die, is because they wouldn't know how to handle it. They would be stuck with emotional needs. They would be wanting to save their baby pictures and their children and stuff like that. And I think the people that actually did that would basically be killing themselves. And I know that sounds weird. I know this is a really, really topic that you'd like to be able to joke about, but that's like a serious thing. I mean, like, because a lot of family would be able to hold you back. I love my mom to death, but at the end of the year, I don't know if she would be able to keep up. It's crazy, and it sucks to know that stuff. But I just slapped a little zombie knowledge on you guys. Let me know if I was right or wrong, or if I deserved to get no vagina last night. So, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you're enjoying the game. I'll put up some more gameplay for you guys soon. Remember to leave a like and favorite if you want to see some more Ghost Recon Future Soldier for me. Oh, I'd save your mom though. Your mom.